Good morning. I'm Dave from UPass. Bit of an update on the SMD Carousel. Spent yesterday evening milling out the pockets on the base, and it went quite well, but there's a few little problems, 2 or 3 little problems. That's not too bad, but the main problem of the bearings fitting and the spacer was fine. That was fine. Some of it's to do with my bed not being true flat. That's the problem with the 6040 CNC 6040. They're never that brilliant anyway. Right, let's show you the result. So this is the bit that I was milling out yesterday, and to that end, let me show you it. We had a lot of mass, and I put the bearing in. So it's a success and a failure in one, if you know what I mean. Right, so the bearing works great. You've got bearing underneath, a washer, and a bearing on top. It's sandwiched in between. Sandwiched with about, supposed to be a mil of thickness between the two. Probably not a mil. Anyway, let's just show you what it does. I'll spin on the bearings. Here we go. Ready? There you go. So it's spinning. It's never going to spin that fast, obviously. But look, I mean, I'm not even touching it. Anyway, I'll stop it. Right, so let's have a closer look. Now, problem, I went a bit crazy and decided to mill the feet. There's 4 little recesses, supposed to be a mil deep, for the feet. Now you can see this one. It went all the way through. Okay, so that's one problem. There was not enough material. My bed wasn't sitting straight. So this side of my bed was lower, like that. It was, instead of being flat, it was like, it was like that, tipped up. So this end ended up milling deeper than it's supposed to. So what I need to do is, maybe if I can't straighten my bed, if I can't straighten the bed, let's keep this in the view. If I can't straighten the bed, what I'll have to do is allow a bit more tolerance on the thickness. So allow a bit more thickness to compensate for a bad bed. Or I could try and fix the bed, or buy a great big piece of billet aluminium and bolt it on, and then mill it flat. It's probably the best way, really. Anyway, the pockets came out really nice. I don't know whether you can see the pockets. Look at those pockets. This material I chose is not quite. It's not quite transparent. Sort of transparent. But beggars can't be choosers, can they? I bought it for cheap, so anyway. So that was the one issue of uneven bed. Hang on, an uneven bed causing it to go through. Now I can repair that. Basically, if I mill out a thin piece of plastic, like 1 mil, and just the shape of that, and just drop it in. I'll just drop it in, and that'll seal that up. So maybe even glue it in. And I'll be able to put the foot back as well. So yeah, I'll be able to sort that out, because it took about 2 hours 20 minutes to mill. It took a hell of a time to mill, but I did slow the speed down from the default right down, and came out pretty well. There's no score marks around all here. Well, there is, but you can't see them. Now you could buffer that up, or I think I'll probably just leave it as it is. Leave it as is. Right. So the other problem was the spring. The holes for the spring here and in here. I bought 4mm springs. There they are. And that spring just drops in there. Lovely, quite nice. I've gone blurred, haven't I? Hang on. Yeah, it drops in there, quite nice. But the ball bearings, which I bought at 4mm, them things, I don't know if they're 4mm, you know. I don't know if they're 4mm. They're supposed to be 4mm. And they just drop straight through the middle of the spring. So they'll just drop straight down to the bottom of the hole through the spring. So I either need a smaller spring or a bigger bearing. But I bought them, supposed to be 4mm. I'm sure I did. But they don't look 4mm. Anyway, we shall have to check that out. The other thing is when it was milling the pockets out, I don't know whether you can see this. I'll try and get it on the screen. So, due to the thickness of these here, these pockets, and whether it was hot at the time, maybe the bit was getting hot, but there's some distortion. There's some, you can see some distortion. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can get it to see it. Can you see the plastic? It's no longer flat. It's not much. It doesn't really affect this. It's going to be standing off the floor on feet. Hang on, let me see if I can get it closer. Can you see that? It's not a really good picture. See, the pockets are just bowing out there. Hang on, let's see if you can see it. They're only slightly, but it's probably because they're so thin. Hang on. Let's go and get it. Try and get the reflection right. Probably best if I get the reflection on it to show you. Yeah, there's right at the front. Probably best if I I don't know if you can see it. It's only slightly, but it's just me being a bit finicky. It's hard to see. But basically, it's like the heat has just warped it slightly, or maybe it's soft material when it's thin. You can't see it really. Let me see if I can. You can't. It's impossible to see, probably. If I get closer, what if I get closer? Yes, you can't really see it. I can't get it to show up. Probably there, yeah. Anyway, so there's that. So we've got the ball bearing dropping through, which is we can just change the bearing. Now the pockets are nicely milled, and I haven't had to sand any of the edges down or anything. And they're spot on. I mean, the milling is quite good. The base it's a bit stripy in the base. Probably the inside-outside overcut is not quite right. But I'm not bothered. They're okay, you know. So the bearing fitted brilliantly. Problem with the feet, I wanted to make it easy to locate the rubber feet on here, just by dropping them in there. But in hindsight, probably what I should have done is just mill out a little tiny target, or not mill anything out, just measure it. It just needs to, you know, they just put the feet on wherever you want them, you know. Just self-adhesive rubber feet, put them wherever you want. Anyway, so it worked out great and it spins beautiful. So obviously we don't even want that. And turning it over was a success. So it, after CNC'd the one side, turned it over, dropped it in, and put the pins. Where are they? What can I do with them pins? Can't find them now. It's amazing how you can't find stuff. Oh, here you are. So I just had these little fixings, 6mm. Then, oops! I was gonna cut off a shank and make it into 6mm, but these are slightly less with the thread. We just drop them into there, and they stick down into the bed. And when you've got 3 or 4 in, it holds it absolutely still, good enough for milling out the reverse. So that's a brilliant way of turning the piece over. I'll use that idea again. I mean, it's not my idea; it's what other people do. But with having the 4 corners, if you hold it in one position, you'll have play. 2 position, have a little bit of play. But when you've got 3 or 4 positions, it can't. The play is evened out, so you can't. It won't move. It's a brilliant idea. Anyway, yeah. So that is it. So there's the progress. It took 2 hours, about 20 minutes to make this thing. So it's not good, brilliant. But what I'm going to do on the next one tonight is I'm going to. Oops, shit. Excuse me. What I'm going to do tonight is speed it up. I think I can speed it up. Right, so anyway, I'm not even let's put it there. So yes, I've got to go on my day job now, so that's the thing. So it does work. I'll just have to mill the rest out, sort out the bearing problem, maybe not do the feet, repair this up, and we're okay. So, and the pockets are deep enough. They're quite deep, the pockets. There's a close-up of the pocket. Can it zoom in? I don't know if it'll focus. There's the pockets are nice, and I didn't have to deburr anything, which was great. I haven't got to handle it in any way. It's a ready product, which is brilliant. Right, anyway, that's going to be it for today. Talk to you later. Maybe do another one when I mill out the other pieces. Show you any more progress. Okay, so that's me, Dave from UPass, signing off. Ta-ra for now. Bye. Thanks for watching. See